Hey, beautiful. Welcome back. This episode is one to take notes on because I'm going to talk to you about how my client generated $109,000 in 3 months. And no, this was not done by one on one, like, $100,000 offers. No. So she wasn't scaling from proximity, right? Because what we did was she came in working with mostly one on one. But now we kind of revamped her offer suite and she has way less calls by design and she's making more money than ever before as she's stepping away from one to one. Now, there were several factors that led to this, okay, but it didn't require expensive ads, no complex funnels, or back to back live launches. Okay. This result came from repositioning her core revenue driving offers and building them out to scale. Meaning now she has offers that she can hold 50 people, 100 people, maybe even more because of how she set them up. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that our clients get the same amazing results that they always did without you trading time for money. Now, I want to start out with what is required before any of the strategy works, and that is internal work. Lots of internal work is required to get to this level and more, okay? Because scaling is an inside out game. Write that down. Scaling is an inside out experience, okay? You've got to combine that identity with strategy so that you don't have to do more, right? You don't have to add more calls or add more events or add more anything, okay, in order to scale. Internal work, the really fully embracing your Christ identity, that's the beginning of massive scale. So, this particular client, she wanted to focus on the 10x moves, right? She said, Jude, I need to leverage my time so that I get to the next level faster. And, it's important for you to know that the women I work with, they think long term. How can I impact more people? How can I get my work out there in different ways and leverage time, leverage my activities, the efforts of my team as well, in order for me to accomplish what God created me to accomplish, right? To do what I am here to do. And so she knew she wanted to scale her business and make a name for herself in her industry. And again, pursuing these 10x moves. And when I say 10x moves, what do I mean? Well, getting on podcasts. I love podcast guesting. That is such a leveraged way to not only gain visibility and exposure, but to sign more clients effortlessly, right? So, getting on podcasts. What else? Speaking on stages, collaborating with others, writing books. And here's the thing, those 10x moves require time. And so you cannot fill your calendar with client work or marketing activities or sales activities and get that done. So this particular client came in with a heavy offer suite, lots of offers. In fact, she was often customizing offers for clients as they came in. So what started out as maybe a handful of offers ended up, when we looked at it, to be more than a dozen. And I said to her, wow, we can do more with less. So that was the intention when we started working together. And I said, hey, you know what? Let's eliminate this and double down on these core revenue driving offers. Let's do some of these micro offers and smaller programs that then could lead into, in a beautifully seamless way, higher level offers. And so that was the edge because she was used to one. That was her comfort zone, but it wasn't working for 1,000 different reasons. So again, we slimmed down her offer suite to be more scalable. And doing so, building to scale without compromising on results, impact, or transformation. That's so important. I want you to understand because there are coaches out there that are telling you, hey, you want to get to 7 figures or even 8 figures quicker? Well, just do less client work. Like, don't interact with them. Don't serve them so well. I'm like, what? No. We need to make sure that our clients are getting results. Okay. There's various ways of doing that. And not everyone involves your specific, constant involvement. right? Okay, very important for you to understand that. But her mission was, I want to create world renowned offers that are built to scale and that will generate the highest results for my clients. And so there are 4 shifts that we made that allowed her to generate $109,000 cash in 3 months while doing less. Right? We're talking about setting up your business in a way that's built to scale so you'll make way more money doing less, because it's all about where your time and efforts are best spent. So we're going to focus, and we committed to moving for the long term. That's so important. I want you to understand that, because that was a big shift for my client. She was always here committed for the long term, but she didn't realize how the way she was operating was never going to get her to where she wanted to go. And I think today in our microwave society, so many are looking for short-term gratification instead of understanding Rome wasn't built in a day, and there's a quicker way of doing things, but you've got to do it right and in the right order. So the first shift we did for my client was elevating her leadership into category owner status. Category leader, that's not enough. Category leader is one of many. Category owner is one of one, right? And I like to think of it as, you're not part of an industry, you are the industry. Do you see how that is such an elevation in thinking and embodiment and leadership? Like, you are the one. And so you need to assume that identity and you move on it. So this is absolutely about elevated identity, who you are, that future identity of the person who actually owns the category, owns the market. And you have to show up in that magnitude now. And again, I'm talking about not just a category leader, but you're a category owner. And I call this market ownership, because you create the market by redefining the problem that your highest caliber best client thinks they have. They think this is the problem, but you redefine it and say, oh my goodness, that's not the issue. It's something over here, right? And so you're talking about the problem completely differently than what they thought. And because it's so different and you've redefined it, you have the only solution to that problem. Does that make sense? And if you might be sitting there thinking, golly, how do I do that? Well, that's my genius. So, all right. So that was the first shift, right? Elevating leadership into category owner status. All right. Second shift, we focused on her depth of brilliance. It is so critically important in today's market that you identify what makes you different, not what makes you better, what makes you different. Again, we're not talking about you standing out as better. We're talking about you standing alone as different. Okay. And so you need to think about, what is the thing that makes you stand out in a league of your own? I call that your uncopyable genius. And that's what I did with my client. We identified what her uncopyable genius was. And then the question then becomes, well, how are you able to bring that through in your positioning so that it's undeniable that you own the market? Okay. So that comes down to your level of genius and your ability to communicate that. And then, of course, elevating how you see yourself, how you carry yourself to hold that identity of a woman that leads at that level. You got to trust yourself. You got to have your own back. And then understanding that when you elevate your leadership, you rise, your verbiage, your conversation rises, and you call in higher caliber leaders who just like are attracted to you like a magnet. So understanding, if you're moving away from close proximity and focusing on 10x moves, then we need to focus on, like I said before, getting you on podcasts, writing and publishing your book, speaking on more stages, right? Setting your business up accordingly so that you are up leveling your identity. Other people are seeing that. The conversation is elevated in the industry because you're leading the charge on that. You are identifying your own industry, your own market. All that comes together. But here's the thing. As you're doing this work, trust me, there will be moments when it feels really hard. And again, that's when you have to have your own back. It's you deciding and then not wavering from it. And you knowing, hey, as I continue to hold that identity, this is you talking, am so powerful. And my offers sell themselves because the right people will find me. Again, this is you talking, and they will see that you're different, see that you stand alone, see that you got what they want. You're an embodiment of that leader that is so magnetic that it draws them in, and the offers sell themselves. But you have to have your own back. You have to have your own back. All right, before I get into the third shift that I worked with my client on, I want to personally invite you to a very special event happening Thursday, May 28th. It is a masterclass with a mastermind element, and it's called Premium Daily Sales on Repeat, where you're going to master premium buyer psychology, and I'm going to lay out the daily sales ecosystem that attracts serious buyers and quickly converts them into paying clients, even into your highest level offers without you. That's the most exciting part, because one of the biggest operational challenges to women in business right now is founder dependent sales, where you are the driver of every sale that comes in. And so if sales right now aren't coming in as quickly as you'd like, and if you know you're ready for a higher level client, trust me, that is not a skills problem. It's a sales system problem, meaning you do not, this is going to be so good. You do not need to learn how to sell better. All you need to do is install the precise sales architecture into your business so that your business becomes the sales engine. So you don't have to. And so I'm breaking down the exact sales ecosystem that creates premium daily buyer movement. And my sister, it is not about funnels. This is about freedom. So I'm going to talk to you about how to engineer demand, how to create buyer conviction, how to shorten that path from interested to I'm in, and how to build that back end system that creates resigns, referrals, and natural ascension. We're going to basically reverse engineer your back end, because the fact is, you are sitting on far more revenue than you realize right now. And it's time that you implement the strategies, the systems, and the structure to plug those revenue leaks so that 20K, 30K, 50K, and more months can become your new normal. So you can save your seat complimentary. It's absolutely free. Just head on over to Instagram at Judy Weber Co. is where you'll find me, and DM the word daily, and I will send you the Zoom link. All right, let's get back to our 4 shifts of how my client was able to generate $109,000 in cash in 3 months. This third shift absolutely comes down to premium offer positioning. Okay, because the offers she's selling were 5 and multi 5-figure investments. So they were higher priced containers and delivering incredible results. These are longer term containers, just intensives in the level of support that's in them. And she's creating something truly world renowned, and the price reflects that. And so positioning of the offers became imperative. Right. And so at that level, you need, and really any of your offers, here's what I want you to think about. You want to position them so that those highest caliber clients see it and they say, gosh, this is my next move. I want in. I know this is going to stretch me. I know this is going to expand me. I'm in. And so your duty is to make sure that when creating these higher level offers, that you want to reposition them to attract the right people. Now, there is a whole methodology in what I call irresistible offer positioning, right? Premium offer positioning. It includes, identifying the unique selling features and the specific core transformation that that offer provides. It's the languaging around it. How do you talk about it? And again, this is so critically important, the exact person that it's for and the level they're already at, using identity mirroring messaging, right? As well as the desired experience messaging, which is really making sure that you understand what they're really looking for, and not just inside the offer, but what do they want to experience when they're inside your world? You need to make sure your positioning calls that out. So a lot of work comes down to offer positioning itself, right? So that when you are posting content, which is your bingeable body of work, and not just content creation, you have the right people coming into your DMs, and they don't have a million objections. They already know that it's going to be a premium offer. They see it, they understand the value, and so they expect that it's going to be a higher priced offer. But when you price and you call out the right people, they're going to be like, heck yeah. Right. So in my work with this client, we doubled down on core premium offer positioning, and then refined rather the messaging. We refined the messaging. And this is so important in order to call in those highest caliber people, right? Because listen, the next level of client that you want to work with, the people that you really want to work with, when you think about it, I hear this all the time. Women say, well, Jude, right now, the people in my world are X, or the people that I've worked with before are X, and I really want to up level. I want to work with someone who's more committed. I want to work with somebody who's, just at a different place. See, so those highest caliber best clients, they are leaders. And so you need to speak to them at a level that matches where they are. So messaging and positioning is so important. And when I say messaging, it is so hyper specific that it's got to reflect that deep level of your brilliance. And you have to speak to her as that leader that she is. That's so huge. And another part of this is you have to make sure you're using different angles to sell the offer. Okay. Because if you use the same angle, you're missing out on calling in a lot of different people because they're different types of buyers activated by different things. So, again, if I had to summarize that, you have to understand the main positioning, what I call the irresistible offer positioning. And then you've got to understand through what lens am I positioning the offer, right? Am I gonna position it through the lens of my methodology, through the lens of a client case study, through the lens of my embodied authority, through objection handling, through your specific level of brilliance inside the offer and how the transformation is actually delivered? Are you gonna talk about it through the angle of activation messaging, or talking about one of your core pillars of that offer? There's like so many nuances to this work, because high level offers, they focus on many different things. So we got to make sure that we're hitting it from every angle and every core pillar in that offer as you talk about it in the world, right? To call in people, the right people, with what they need. And the beautiful thing about this work is it's so worth it, because this is what's required if you don't want to rely on sales calls or live launching, because selling through the lens of hyper specificity is what sells. It's what makes sales effortless, right? So, so good. So much I could say about that. But now you understand the depth of the work. And I just want to reassure you that you might be like, gosh, that sounded like a lot of different things I have to keep in mind. Well, it's easy when you already just follow kind of the way I talk about it, the way I teach it, right? And so it doesn't have to take months for you to figure this out. It can happen very quickly. All right, the fourth shift. We built an ascension model with my client that, while it creates incredible transformation, it also leads to insane client retention and a long-term client journey that fosters repeat buyers, right? You don't want clients to buy from you once, right? You want them to upgrade and ascend. So we let go of certain offers and we added in others, and the micro offers and built offers so that they could easily and strategically and seamlessly ascend. Like the next ascension, the next offer only made sense, right? They had this continuation plan. So they were constantly being supported. And By the way, she so loves your clients, so love you that they want to continue. They want to have a reason to stay in your world, right? So that once she finishes, there's something actually waiting for her. And so with this client, we made sure that there was a solid client journey and ascension model that went up and up and up in price point. Now, one other thing that's really important to retain clients, you have got to build an incredible community and a unique culture that is grounded in brand values and that you're leading a mission that people want to be a part of. They know what you stand for, and you have a language, a way of talking about it. There's a cohesiveness that exists in your community that your people, these highest caliber, best client people that we're talking about, those right people, they want to be a part of it. And so with my client, we focused on building that solid community of people who love each other and love my client. And it really felt like a family, right? One of the biggest keys to success is building that culture and that community. And so now she's got a recognizable brand that people are obsessed with. They trust her and they never want to leave. Trust me, community building, that is what's required. And so you've got to lead that movement. And going back a little bit to the identity work, you've got to hold hundreds at a time in your community. The community is global and it's going to expand. And in order to hold hundreds at a time, that requires that you create this insane community culture, again, that they want to be a part of. You've got to make clear what your values are, what the journey is going to be with you, what they're doing inside these different containers that you offer. And that is your responsibility as a leader to communicate that. And again, continually present opportunities for them to stay with you. So $109,000 cash in 3 months. A lot of that was monthly recurring revenue that she's going to be having over the next 12 months. And she is on a massive upward trajectory right now. The momentum has kicked in and went into overdrive. So $1 million cash is inevitable for her, and it won't take years. And this is what happens when you elevate your leadership, when you step into the bold edginess, right, of your business and what's required to get to the next level and how to set up your business to scale. And you reach a point, if you haven't reached this, you will soon. You reach a point where you can't scale one to one because you can only raise your prices so much. And to not expand and doing the work that I just took you through is to really do a disservice because you're not able to impact all the people that you were meant to impact. So all of this begins with you deciding, based on your uncopyable genius, what you will become known for and communicating with precision what you do different than anybody else. And then you back that up with strategy, that irresistible positioning, and a solid brand that they want to be a part of. Couple that with a solid offer suite and ascension model. Repeat buyers, they're obsessed with your work, and you're calling in those aligned right people. They're obsessed with you, and you have this big family, this big community of powerhouses that continually elevate the space. That's why it is so important to call in the people that you really want to be serving. And so you are elevating the level of conversation, and you're known for having clients get massive transformation. And all of that gives fuel that keeps you leading relentlessly and boldly, even when the fear and the discomfort kicks in, because you are so elevated by your own body of work and you can't help but take people with you. It's such an exciting thing for me to witness as a coach and mentor. So again, you've got to make sure you're speaking through this super specific lens about your offers, and that hyper specificity is designed to repel those that aren't a right fit and magnetize the leaders who are. So that's what happens when you allow yourself to become wildly known for your genius and your incredible body of work, and you go for it. And I want to emphasize the word you allow. You've got to decide and allow yourself to become wildly known for your genius and not hold back and not apologize for that level of boldness, right? And you create world renowned offers that you can fully back, and you know they work. You know they get results. Now, again, I want to give you a reality check here. It can feel edgy and scary operating at this level. You're calling in another level of people, and frankly, you need to up level first. But this edge, this scary, discomfortable area where you are as you are doing this work is exactly where the growth is. And remember, hugely for us in Christ, you didn't appoint yourself to this work. The Lord God Almighty did. So surrender the fear to Him, trust Him in the discomfort, trust Him that His promise to equip you shall be fulfilled, and go for it. Do the big thing, do it your way, right? Build your business, build your offers in a way that's authentic to you. There is not one way to get to seven figures. You know, you may have heard leaves clues, and that's true, but discernment decides which ones matter. I want to say that again because I want you to write that down. Yes, success leaves clues, but discernment decides which of those clues matter. We're talking about going all in on your brilliance, your edge, your Christ identity. That's what puts you on the map as the category of one that owns her market. And so I'm not surprised that my client is at six-figure quarters because I work with that level of client. I work with powerhouses. They are top industry leaders. She's writing her first book. It's going to be published and out later this year. She's speaking on stages. She's asked to speak at multiple events. She is trailblazing her way, right? She is the leader. Her community is incredible. They're with her for life, and she's making more money than ever before. And she has more white space in her calendar. It's just so exciting to see. And so many can't do these 10x moves that I mentioned because they're time poor and they're energy poor, because they're scaling for more proximity and have too many offers that just aren't a good fit. So this is the work we do in my world. My work is for women who are themselves high caliber leaders, and they want to be surrounded by like-kind clients. And they want to be mentored by someone who shares her values, Christ first, someone who's got spiritual maturity, someone who knows the Word of God, and someone who knows business, someone who's been through various markets. Like I started in real estate in 2008 with the housing crisis, and I was still an award-winning agent within a few months. I've had 5 businesses all told, and the first one began in 2003 before online was even a thing. And my work is for women who want to be mentored by someone who gets faith-fueled mindset and identity work that builds a business that is destined for $1 million impact. And someone who appreciates the strategic element of high-level sales strategies and premium, irresistible offer positioning and hyper-specific messaging to make sure also that you're building this solid offer suite and ascension model that's built to scale and clients continually want to buy from you. And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, yeah, I want to make a minimum 30K, 40K, 50K months and more, and I'm ready for that next level, for that bold edge. And if you would love to be in a room with other powerhouse leaders who appreciate the gifts that she's been given and knows now is the time to up level in the way she's stewarding those gifts, right? If you want to call in higher caliber people into your offers and call in people who were going to push your mission forward because they believe in your work and because of their own results. And if you want to work with clients who are so obsessed with you and your work that they can't help but share you out because of the impact you've had on them. If you're thinking, I'm ready to be stretched to up level the people I work with, right? They're the people they're going to be the people who see my value, who do the work, who get results, who recognize my genius, right? And this is the work I do in my world. And if you're like, wow, okay, tell me more. Well, right now, I'm enrolling the dreamiest high caliber women into a truly sacred space. And in this particular offer, I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm creating a core signature offer, not in my office alone with my laptop on Zoom, but instead, I'm putting this offer together that's going to be later repackaged into a on-demand, self-directed, no access to me Right now, I'm creating this and putting this together with amazing clients in the room. I'm building it out live with you. And as if that's not special enough, what really is amazing is um, you're going to get access to me with twice monthly hot seat coaching. So the cadence is going to be 1 week training, live training with me, following week, hot seat coaching, because this container is not just about the learning, it is about the taking action and the implementing. And so every other week, we're going to come together and you can ask me anything on the hot seat coaching. Get my eyes and my brain on your business and specifically on whatever work you want me to look at and review and audit. It could be your category of one, could be your positioning, your messaging, maybe your offer suite or an individual offer, could be your lead magnet or your email sequences. Literally nothing is off limits. So these twice monthly calls, you can actually share a screen to get my detailed feedback on your work. Again, whatever you like. In fact, that's one thing that my clients tell me every time. Hey, Judy, I've been in other programs. I've worked with other 7 and 8 figure coaches inside very expensive masterminds, and never have I gotten such detailed, specific answers to my questions. They're just amazed at that. But let's face it, the better I know you, the better I know your business, well, that's the better I can customize feedback to you. And I will tell you that I'm curating this container as if it were a $20,000 mastermind. And you can get in on pre-sale now at a fraction of that. Now, this space that I've been talking about here, it's called She Sells Higher, and it is the ultimate high-level strategic sales program meets mastermind for faith-fueled female founders who are ready to fill their offers with high-caliber clients, ready to generate premium daily sales, and stack their monthly recurring revenue, all powered by a hands-off sales system. Again, the business drives sales, not you. Now, because we're building it out in real time, I can't tell you how long this is going to last. I know it'll be at least 3 months. I'm thinking closer to 4, maybe even 5 months. Here's the thing, I will not rush. And the awesome thing for the ladies in the room is that if I see you need help on a particular subject, concept, or something, I'm going to do an additional training on it. And here's the thing, the longer this goes, the better for you, because throughout the entire time together, whether it's 3 months, 5 months, or perhaps even 6 months, you're going to get that close proximity access to me for the entire duration. So you're going to get the live trainings with me. You're going to get the hot seat coaching with me. And between calls, I'm going to create a brand new Telegram channel where you're going to have access to insights and behind the scenes and riffs from me as I get inspired. Okay. So you'll get access to those bonus riffs and trainings and things, insights from me. You're also going to be able to post your wins. You're going to be able to post your questions and have discussions and network and collab with the other amazing women inside. And as if all that wasn't crazy good enough, you're also going to get lifetime access to everything. And here's the thing, even the updates I do in the future. And so again, this is live training on high-level sales strategy and sales systems to scale your sales. I'm talking premium daily sales without you. So this is like live training meets mastermind in a high proximity container with access to me. So inside you will be elevated as a higher level leader and CEO, and your business will be up leveled because you'll be activating higher caliber people into your offers through stepping into your $1 million impact, your faith-fueled CEO identity. Your positioning is going to reflect the full depth of your brilliance. You're going to refine your messaging. You're going to use high-level sales strategies to get the right people into your offers who stay and stay with you. And again, we're going to build that solid ascension offer suite so clients come in and stay for life. And so if you're feeling this and you've been wanting to explore what it's like to work with me, trust me, this is your room. So whether you are an earlier stage founder or you're already at multiple six figures, this is the room for you because we're going deep and you will take what you need right now, whatever level of business you are in. So if you want to be surrounded by women who call you to play at a higher level, who want you to dream even bigger, who celebrate your wins as if it's theirs. And if you want an elevated conversation and an elevated standard, this is the room. Because the fact of the matter is, you calibrate to the rooms you put yourself into. You calibrate to the level of conversation that you're having. And you absolutely calibrate to the numbers people are talking about. Another great thing being inside my world, the offers, the ideas that the women inside bring, these are innovators, right? So it's an expansive space that allows you to really go for it. And you see yourself in a whole new way and really allows you to take that next leap, ready to break through the glass ceiling and create next level impact, influence, and income. And that's what we're doing inside She Sells Higher. We begin the first week of June. So if you want to know more details and get in on a pre-sale pricing, which is insane, again, come meet me over on Instagram at Judy Weber Co. and DM the word higher. DM the word higher. And oh gosh, I just cannot wait to work with you inside. This is an elite, exclusive space with the highest caliber women who love Jesus Christ. They are impact and mission driven women. They know they're here by God to make global impact and make crazy amounts of money, because money in the hands of good Christian women mean the world's a better place, because we're going to steward it well, right? And you have to understand that big money is the byproduct of big impact. So again, when you get in, I'm going to say one more thing. Okay. There is an exclusive, super juicy surprise that you unlock when you save your spot before May 29th. So come into my DMs with the word hire, and we'll have a conversation there in the DMs and see if this is a right fit. But last thing I want to say is, if you know you're ready for She Sells Higher, get in the room. Okay. We have, gosh, how many? I think I enrolled 15 just last week, and we're still in pre-sale. So I would love to welcome you in as well. And don't forget about Thursday's masterclass, premium daily sales on repeat. And to get the ticket, free ticket for that in the DMs, just say daily, and I will send you that Zoom link. I know this was a long one, but I hope that it opened your mind to what can happen in 2026 that could blow your own mind with how high you go and how far you go in your business. All right, see you next time.